Oh no 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 no
You're
no
an idiot.
no
You're
no
an
no
idiot.
no.
You're an idiot. 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 Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Behövunk Show. Yes, we did come up with that name by typing random letters with our keyboard.
Today, we'll be reviewing a whole bunch of movies from each genre, including action, suspense, horror, adventure, comedy, and romance. And it's going to be our favorite of each.
Today we'll be reviewing The Matrix, Alien, The Thing, The Fellowship of the Ring, Shaun of the Dead, Religulous, and Twilight.
So, to start with The Matrix. This movie had an excellent plot, all about the post-apocalyptic time when the robots took over the Earth and forced humans into pretty much slavery.
I found it a bit confusing, though, with the person who told the future and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the Oracle. I mean, she's like, in the story of The Matrix, she's a program, you know. They can do whatever they want. They can kind of hack.
Yes, they make it confusing,
Yeah, but-
to annoy us.
I still found it, I wasn't confused. I know a whole bunch of people who were sitting there trying to ask me everything, but I wasn't confused at all.
Okay, that's good enough for the plot. The acting was pretty good.
Yeah.
They're all pretty good actors.
but
I really didn't like the way they always whisper.
You know, they're like, hey, Trinity, I need to tell you something really important.
Okay, you better whisper quieter.
Yeah, okay, there's nobody here. There's no point in whispering, but let's whisper anyway.
Yeah, just for fun.
Okay, yeah. Well, also, I still say it was a very good movie despite the
Yeah.
whispering.
The best part of this movie, definitely, it's very known for is action scenes.
Oh, yeah. If you look in Matrix, the number 2, I forget which one that's called, but it had the most well-known Matrix scene ever, where you see Neo fighting countless copies of Mr. Smith, just fighting them all at the same time, and then more keep coming. It was amazing. Non-stop action.
It's pretty epic.
Also, in the last movie, where we see the robots finally invading the city, and we see those hundreds of APUs, which are basically just an exosuit for a human, just firing away. Bullets are flying everywhere. It was amazing.
Yeah. Okay, the ending for this movie was pretty good, to be honest. I really like the way Neo became like the master of everything. You know, he's the one Neo.
Yeah, and then
he's
good thing he died. Sadly enough. I didn't like that Trinity died though. You know, she's just like crashed.
They
and
didn't
then,
have to do that.
Yeah.
But they often do that in movies to surprise you, you know?
Yeah, except
I like
it wasn't
surprises.
surprising. It was disappointing. Overall, I gave this rating a definite 9 on 10.
I agree with that. 9 on 10 is a pretty good rating for this movie. On to our next movie, Alien.
Alien was probably my favorite suspense movie I've ever seen in my life.
I liked it, but it wasn't that scary. There were a few scenes that, scared me to death. But apart from that, it wasn't that scary.
Also, you have to take into consideration the fact that it did come out in 1978. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
about 31 years ago.
Mentioning that, it had very, very good special effects for its time.
Yes, like when that thing popped out of his stomach. Ooh, that scared me.
Well, that was really crappy animation, though.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it was all puppeting. You couldn't really do much back then.
Yeah.
Also, this movie is a really well-known movie, and since it came out back in 1978, it has inspired like loads of things like Aliens, Alien 2, Alien 3, Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator 2, and a whole bunch of video games. Too.
Yeah, but everyone knows the sequels weren't really that good. Apart from
Yeah.
Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah,
Alien
that-
2 and Alien 3 are
That
pretty
was a
crappy.
good movie. Alien vs. Predator? Oh, we're not talking about that. Back to Alien.
Okay, the ending of this movie, it was okay. It was mediocre ending.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. I was definitely expecting the alien to be in the escape pod with her, and the way she got rid of it, it was just, come on. Couldn't have been more creative.
Yeah. It wasn't very original.
I give this movie a 9 on 10.
I disagree. I give it an 8 on 10. It wasn't that good. It was okay, but I mean...
I found it still
It was
like,
supposed to be scary, but it just wasn't scary enough.
I found it the god of scary. It was like inspired scary.
Our next movie is The Thing.
The Thing, what a creative name.
The Thing.
And surprisingly enough, that is the only way to describe the enemy in this movie.
Yeah, you can't give it a name. It's impossible. I mean,
It's like-
it's a thing. That's it.
Well, you could say alien, I guess. Basically, this movie is about some people up north. They discover an ancient alien UFO hidden somewhere, and then they find this weird creature that's frozen in ice. So
Yeah.
they bring it back to their camp.
And basically, it infects everything around it. Kind of like Alien, but different because it stays inside there. It doesn't jump out.
And then and then eventually it just takes over the body and mutates it to disgusting proportions, and then just completely destroys everything.
So watching with this movie is great because you're always trying to guess who is infected and who isn't, you know?
Yes, you can tell, when someone runs away, you're like, oh, are they the thing or are they running away from the thing?
Yeah. I like the part with the dogs where they all get infected and like they all turn out with tons of
Oh, that was
mutated
gross.
things.
Its head split open. It's like
Yeah, but-
grabbing the other ones with tentacles. That was gross. Another thing about this was the plot was really good. It had me captured the entire time, and I could totally believe that main character was the hero he's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very good acting and very good portrayal of a main character.
The budget of this movie was actually pretty cheap because the entire movie was filmed in one place. It wasn't even in Antarctica, I don't think. It was just this snowy place
Yeah.
that they said it was Antarctica.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
But, they did well for such a low budget.
Yeah, I gave this movie a 9 on 10, as usual.
Yeah, me too. It was a great movie.
Our next movie, Fellowship of the Ring. I'm sure everyone's heard of this.
If you haven't heard of this, you've been living under
A rock
a rock
or a log or something.
and a planet very, 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 very far away.
Yes, it's, as everyone knows, Lord of the Rings, inspired by J.R.R. Tolkien's the series, Lord of the Rings. And I definitely love this movie. When I saw it, I couldn't get over it.
The action scenes were amazing. The fighting was really, really good.
And it was filmed in New Zealand, which has beautiful countryside.
Perfect place for all the scenery with all the beautiful cities they've built and stuff. It was
Absolutely amazing. This movie had very good actors, very, very, very good special effects, even though it was released,
About 10 years ago.
yeah, pretty old.
The only problem I had with this movie is that it was too long.
Well, if you watch the extended version, which is about 2 hours, I think, 2 hours and a half,
Yeah.
that's pretty long.
And
and
the second and third movies were 3 hours long, 3 hours and a half even.
But I definitely think it was worth it. There was so much action in it for me, but obviously not for you.
Some parts were a bit boring,
Yes, well, to people like you, I do appreciate the scenery now and then. But as you said,
Scenery?
it was a bit long. The scenery, when they were walking along the hills and you can see
Yeah, it's
all-
so interesting. People walking along the hills.
You know what? It was beautiful, okay?
You wish.
Beautiful lakes, beautiful forest, everything.
I give this movie 9.5 on 10 simply because, it was just too long. Apart from
Absolutely.
that, it was perfect.
I got a 9.5 on 10, and I don't know, I'd say the 0.5 off was because of that stupid Arwen who was always kissing Aragorn in the face like every 2 seconds of the movie. It was
I have to
really
agree.
annoying.